Listen to me. Life is not fair. People will hurt you, sometimes intentionally, sometimes out of their own brokenness. But the test is not in what they do. The test is in what you do next. Self-control is one of the rarest and most valuable forms of strength you can ever possess. See, the world will tell you that strength is about how loud you can shout, how quick you can clap back, how hard you can strike when you're pushed. But that's a lie. Real strength, the kind that builds nations, raises families, fulfills dreams, is quiet. It's controlled, it's disciplined. Real strength is in how well you can govern yourself when everything in you wants to explode. When someone hurts you, everything in your instincts will scream, react, defend yourself, strike back. And yet, the greatest victory is not winning an argument. The greatest victory is mastering yourself. It's choosing not to hand your emotions over to someone who doesn't deserve the keys to your peace. It's easy to react when someone crosses the line. Anybody can do that. Children do that. Animals do that. But it takes real wisdom, real growth to stay calm, to stay poised, to look beyond the moment and see the bigger picture. Imagine yourself like a fortress, strong, immovable. If every passing stranger could throw a stone and make you collapse, what kind of fortress are you? That's not strength, that's fragility. Self-control builds walls that protect your mission, your purpose, your character. It says to the world, you can throw stones, you can hurl insults, but you can't control me. You can't pull me out of my spirit. You can't touch my destiny. And understand this, every time you choose not to react, you're not being weak, you're being wise. You're not running from the battle. You're choosing a higher battlefield. You're refusing to fight on ground that's beneath your calling. You're saying, I'm not going to let a moment of pain dictate the rest of my journey. Self-control is not about being passive either. It's not about letting people walk all over you. It's about being strategic. It's about knowing when to speak, when to move, and most importantly, when to hold your peace because the noise isn't worth your energy. It's the art of preserving your mind, your focus, your strength for the battles that actually matter, the ones that move you closer to your dreams, not the ones that drag you into the mud. The truth is, when you react impulsively, you're fighting the wrong enemy. The real enemy is not the person who offended you. It's the distraction, the detour, the doubt that comes afterward. It's the bitterness that tries to plant seeds in your spirit. That's what you're really fighting. And if you react every time someone pokes at you, you end up fighting battles you were never supposed to fight, battles that waste your time, your creativity, your peace. You see, there's a power in silence. There's a power in stillness. A man who can stay calm when disrespected. A woman who can smile when overlooked. A soul that can stay steady when pushed, that's the person who's truly dangerous in the best way. That's the person who's ready to lead, to build, to break barriers, because they are no longer a prisoner to outside forces. They move with intention, not emotion. They act with vision, not reaction. Self-control also protects your future. Every moment you react in anger, in pride, in hurt, you risk damaging relationships, opportunities, and even your own self-image. Words spoken in reaction can't be unsaid. Actions taken in anger can't always be undone. But when you stay composed, you keep your hands clean, your mind clear, and your path open. You can walk away from moments of offense with your dignity intact, your reputation stronger, and your future still bright. Even more, when you master self-control, you inspire others. People notice. They watch how you handle pressure. They watch how you respond to disrespect. And when they see that you don't crack, that you don't crumble, you earn their respect, the kind of respect that can't be demanded, only commanded. Leaders aren't crowned in easy moments. They're revealed in tough moments, moments where others would have lost their cool, but you stayed rooted. Think about the people you admire most. It's not the ones who always had something slick to say. It's not the ones who fought every battle, answered every insult. It's the ones who stood tall through storms, who spoke when necessary but didn't waste words. It's the ones who chose their battles wisely. It's the ones who understood that every reaction is a transaction, and they refused to pay with their peace. Never forget, your energy is valuable. Your emotions are precious. Don't spend them recklessly. Don't let anyone pull you into a fight that costs you more than it's worth. The moment you choose self-control, you're choosing power, you're choosing legacy, you're choosing to move not as a reactor to small people and small problems, but as a creator of your future. Walk with power, walk with purpose, walk with self-control, because that is where your real strength lies. Pain is inevitable in this life. If you breathe, if you dream, if you love, you will be hurt. It's not a question of if, it's a matter of when. But hear me carefully. The pain you experience is never meant to define you. It's meant to refine you. It's a test, not a tattoo. It's a moment, not your identity. Too many people walk through life carrying old wounds like name tags, abandoned, betrayed, not good enough. They let those hurts tell them who they are, where they can go, what they deserve. But pain doesn't have that power unless you give it permission. Pain is loud, yes. It demands attention, yes. But it is still just a moment in your story, not the story itself. When someone hurts you, whether through words, through actions, or through silence, it's important to remember. Their behavior says more about them than it does about you. Their cruelty, their ignorance, their betrayal, that's a reflection of their brokenness, not your worth. You are not what happened to you. You are what you decide to become after it happened. Pain is a teacher. But, like all good teachers, it's not trying to ruin you. It's trying to reveal you. When you're tested by pain, it shows you parts of yourself you might have never seen otherwise, how strong you are. How much resilience lives inside you. How much wisdom you can gain if you stay open instead of closing off. Tests are not designed to destroy you. They are designed to develop you. The problem is, when you believe pain defines you, you start living in reaction to it. You make decisions based on fear, based on insecurity, based on what hurt you instead of what heals you. You avoid love because you were betrayed once. You hide your talents because you were criticized once. You stop dreaming because you failed once. That's what happens when pain becomes your definition instead of your lesson. You shrink, you hide, you settle. But when you understand that pain is a test, everything changes. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And you start asking, what is this trying to teach me? You stop focusing on the wound and start focusing on the wisdom. You realize that the greatest people who ever walked this earth, the ones who left legacies, who changed lives, they all knew pain, but they didn't let it name them. They let it sharpen them. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your failure. You are not your disappointment. You are bigger than what happened to you. And every time you choose to learn from the pain instead of living in it, you reclaim your power. You tell the world, I am the author of my story. I decide what this chapter means. When you're hurt, the easy thing to do is close your heart, build walls, shut people out. But that's not growth. That's survival. And you were not born just to survive, you were born to thrive. Thriving means letting the pain teach you without allowing it to trap you. It means staying soft even after the world tried to harden you. It means believing that no matter how deep the cut, healing is still possible. Restoration is still possible. Transformation is still possible. You are not what they said about you. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the dream that didn't work out. You are the strength that kept moving. You are the courage that kept believing. You are the wisdom that rose from the ashes. That's who you are. Pain will knock on your door. That's guaranteed. But what's not guaranteed is how you answer. Will you let it in, give it a seat at your table, and let it tell you who you are? Or will you greet it like a passing visitor, learning from it, but not living with it? Every great story has moments of pain, but pain is not the headline. It's not the title of the book. It's just a paragraph, A chapter, a necessary stretch of the journey that shapes the hero into who they were destined to become.
And make no mistake, you are the hero in your own story, not the victim, not the villain, not the defeated one, the hero, the overcomer. The next time you feel pain, I want you to remember this. You're being tested, not defined.
Your endurance is being tested. Your character is being tested. Your vision is being tested. And if you pass this test, if you refuse to let the pain become your name, there is a version of you on the other side that is stronger, wiser, more powerful than you ever imagined. So don't let the pain shrink you. Don't let it label you. Let it strengthen you. Let it teach you. Let it move you toward your destiny, because your story isn't over, it's just getting started. Every time you react to someone who hurts you, you hand them something precious. You give them your power. You surrender the driver's seat of your emotions, your focus, your energy, all because of a moment, all because of what they said, what they did. But listen to me. You were never meant to be controlled by other people's actions. You were meant to move with purpose, not be pushed around by provocation. When you react, you allow someone else to dictate your mood, your mindset, even your next move. Think about that. One harsh word, one disrespectful look, one unfair comment, and suddenly you're off track. You're angry, you're hurt, you're distracted. They pulled you into a battle you didn't even choose. They hijacked your day, your peace, your energy. That is not strength. That is not wisdom. That is not power. True power is response, not reaction. It's choosing how you move, not being moved. It's understanding that just because someone throws a stone doesn't mean you have to throw one back. Sometimes the real flex is not even acknowledging the insult. Sometimes the real victory is walking away with your dignity intact and your spirit untouched. The truth is, most people who try to hurt you are looking for a reaction. They want attention. They want to pull you down to their level because they can't rise to yours. If you react, you're playing their game by their rules. You're stepping onto a battlefield that was never meant for you. You're letting their chaos become your chaos. And the moment you do that, you lose ground not because they were stronger, but because you gave them permission. Ask yourself, who has the power, the one who controls the situation, or the one who gets controlled by it? Every time you react out of anger, pride, or pain, you hand over the keys to your peace. You let them steer your emotions, your decisions, your destiny. But when you choose not to react, when you keep your calm, when you stay rooted in who you are, you're saying, you can try to shake me, but you will not move me. It's not about being passive, it's about being wise. It's about being so grounded in your purpose that petty things don't pull you off course. It's about being so focused on where you're going that you don't stop to throw stones at every dog that barks. Your energy is too expensive to spend on cheap drama. Your future is too important to risk over temporary emotions. Think about it. How many blessings have been delayed because someone reacted instead of responding? How many relationships were broken? How many opportunities were missed? How many dreams were sidelined because someone gave away their power in a moment of hurt, a moment of pride, a moment of anger? Don't let a temporary feeling create a permanent problem. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is immediate, it's emotional, it's raw. Response is intentional, it's thoughtful. It's strategic. Reaction says, I'm controlled by my feelings. Response says, I control my feelings. Reaction is about ego. Response is about wisdom. Every time you hold back a reaction, you're strengthening your spirit. You're building emotional muscle. You're telling yourself and the world that you are bigger than the moment. You are bigger than the insult. You are bigger than the pain. You are built for bigger things. Don't hand your crown to someone who didn't earn it. Don't hand your peace to someone who doesn't even know what peace looks like. Protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Protect your spirit like it's rare treasure, because it is. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every situation deserves your attention. Sometimes the greatest strength you can show is restraint. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to clap back to validate yourself. Your value isn't determined by how loud you shout back. It's determined by how steady you stand when others try to shake you. Let your growth be your response. Let your success be your reply. Let your peace be your answer. Because at the end of the day, reacting won't heal you. It won't build you. It won't move you forward. It'll only tie you to people and situations that were never worthy of your time to begin with. Real strength is silent. Real strength is focused. Real strength is keeping your power in your hands, no matter what they say, no matter what they do. Stay unmoved. Stay undistracted. Stay powerful, because your life is too important to let anyone else write your story. When someone hurts you, betrays you, disrespects you, it's natural to feel the sting. It's natural to feel the weight of it, the anger boiling just beneath the surface. But the real decision isn't whether you'll be hurt. That's already happened. The real decision is what you do next, how you respond. You can let that pain harden you, or you can let it grow you. You can carry a grudge, or you can carry wisdom, but you can't carry both. Grudges feel good in the beginning. They feel like justice. They feel like control. Holding on to the memory of what someone did, replaying it, nursing it, it makes you feel like you're doing something about it. But a grudge is a heavy thing. It doesn't hurt the person you're angry at. It hurts you. It doesn't imprison them. It chains you. It doesn't take away your pain. It multiplies it. Grudges are weights you were never meant to carry. They drain your energy. They cloud your vision. They slow your steps. They turn you into a prisoner of the past when you were created to walk boldly into your future. And the saddest thing about a grudge is it tricks you into believing you're protecting yourself when you're actually poisoning yourself. Responding with growth looks different. Growth says, I acknowledge the hurt, but I refuse to let it define me. Growth says, I see the pain, but I choose to rise above it. Growth is not pretending you weren't hurt. It's recognizing the hurt and still choosing healing over hate. Purpose over pettiness, destiny over drama. Every painful moment has a lesson hidden inside it. Some people are placed in your life to bless you. Others are placed to teach you. Sometimes the ones who hurt you the most are the ones who prepare you the most. They teach you about boundaries, about discernment, about your own inner strength. If you're wise, you'll walk away not with bitterness, but with a toolbox full of lessons. You'll be sharper, smarter, stronger, not because you carried the pain, but because you carried the wisdom. When you respond with growth, you're saying, I will not let this moment shrink me. You're saying, I will not build my life around a wound. You're saying, this hurt me, but it won't hold me. That's power. That's maturity. That's freedom. You don't have to forgive for their sake. Forgive for yours. Forgiveness is not about erasing the wrong. It's about releasing yourself from its grip. It's saying you don't get to occupy space in my mind and my spirit anymore. I need that room for my dreams, for my peace, for my future. Responding with growth means you stop asking, how could they do this to me? And you start asking, what did this awaken in me? What part of me needs to heal? What wisdom do I need to carry forward? It means you turn your focus from them, the one who hurt you, back to yourself, your purpose, your healing. Holding a grudge keeps you tied to the past. Growing from pain launches you into the future. When you carry growth instead of a grudge, you open doors instead of closing them. You create new opportunities. You attract better relationships. You operate at a higher level because you're no longer weighed down by old battles. You have too much life ahead of you to waste it being bitter about what's behind you. You have too many mountains to climb, too many dreams to chase, too many lives to impact. Grudges are distractions. Growth is destiny. Choose destiny. Understand, you don't grow by accident. You grow by decision. You grow by intention. You grow by refusing to let the worst thing that happened to you become the centerpiece of your story. It's just a chapter. It's not the whole book. It's just a lesson. It's not the limit.
You may never get an apology. You may never get closure. You may never get justice the way you think it should come, and that's okay. Growth doesn't wait for someone else to make it right. Growth says, I'm moving forward anyway, I'm building anyway, I'm living anyway.
Because this life is not about what happens to you, it's about what happens through you. It's about how you transform pain into purpose. It's about how you turn scars into stories of victory. It's about how you take what was meant to break you and let it build you instead.
Every time you choose growth over a grudge, you become a little more free, a little more powerful, a little more unstoppable. You rise higher, you walk lighter, you live better. So when they hurt you and don't pick up a grudge like a sword. Pick up growth like a shield. Protect your peace. Guard your greatness. Nurture your destiny, because you were made for more than bitterness. You were made for brilliance. In a world where everybody feels the need to say something, to clap back, to prove a point, silence feels foreign. It feels uncomfortable, but don't get it twisted. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strength. It takes power to hold your peace when everything inside you is screaming to react. It takes discipline to say nothing when you know you could say everything. Silence isn't surrender. Silence is strategy. Silence is wisdom in motion. When you stay silent in the face of hurt, you are not saying you agree with what happened. You are saying, I refuse to let this pull me out of my character. You are saying, I am bigger than this moment. I am not going to be reduced to the level of the offense. Silence is control. It shows that you own yourself, that you are not mastered by emotion, not manipulated by insults, not driven by the need for validation. You are grounded. Anybody can react. Anybody can explode. That's easy. That's common. But few people have the strength to stay composed, to let the noise pass, to refuse to let their peace be disturbed. Silence in the middle of a storm shows who really has power, and hear me on this. Real power doesn't always announce itself. Real power doesn't always have to prove itself. Sometimes the strongest statement you can make is no statement at all. People will say things about you. They'll twist your words. They'll attack your character. They'll test your patience. But you have to decide, are you going to spend your life responding to every attack? Or are you going to keep building, keep climbing, keep moving? You don't have time to fight every petty battle. You don't have the energy to waste on every little offense. Your destiny is too important to be distracted by noise. Silence forces you to choose your battles wisely. Every hill is not worth dying on. Every insult is not worth your attention. When you stay silent, you're not weak, you're focused. You are saying, I am saving my voice for what really matters. I am saving my energy for things that deserve my time, my mind, my spirit. Silence also speaks louder than anger ever could. When you remain calm in chaos, you send a message. You don't control me. You don't define me. You don't have that kind of power over me. Your silence becomes a mirror, forcing people to see their own reflection without your interference. And most of the time, people will reveal themselves without you having to say a single word. Growth shows up in your silence. Maturity shows up in your silence. Strength shows up in your silence. It's easy to pop off. It's easy to drag somebody down. It's easy to defend yourself at every turn. But silence says, I know who I am. I don't need to explain myself to people who are committed to misunderstanding me. When you hold your peace, you keep your power. When you hold your peace, you hold your future in your hands instead of giving it away to whoever made you angry that day. When you hold your peace, you make room for God, for life, for destiny to work on your behalf. Because sometimes the best revenge is not rage, it's success. It's elevation. It's moving forward so high, so far, that what tried to break you can't even reach you anymore. Silence is not giving up. It's growing up. It's realizing that every fight isn't your fight. Every comment doesn't deserve your response. Every offense doesn't need your energy.
Your silence is your investment in your peace, your focus, your future. The world teaches you that you always have to have the last word, that you always have to prove you're right, that you always have to show you're strong, but true strength doesn't shout. True strength stands.
True strength says, I don't have to respond because I already know who I am. When you master silence, you master self. When you master silence, you learn that not every feeling needs to be voiced, not every insult needs to be addressed, not every conflict needs your participation. Sometimes the highest form of wisdom is knowing when to stay quiet and let your life speak instead. The strongest people aren't always the ones you hear the most. They're the ones quietly building, quietly healing, quietly growing. They're the ones who, when it's all said and done, rise so much higher than anyone thought, not because they argued their way there, but because they worked their way there. So when the temptation comes to react, to lash out, to make noise, remember, silence is not the absence of strength, it's the evidence of it. Silence is not weakness. Silence is where real power lies. Hold your peace, guard your spirit, trust your silence, because your destiny is speaking louder than any insult ever could. At the end of the day, life will test you, people will hurt you, they'll misunderstand you, disrespect you, underestimate you. That's a guarantee, but the real test isn't about what they do, it's about what you do. It's about how you choose to respond, how you choose to carry yourself when the heat is on, when the insults fly, when the pain cuts deep. You have a choice every time someone wrongs you. You can react and give away your power, or you can respond with wisdom and keep building your future. You can carry grudges that weigh you down, or you can carry growth that lifts you higher. You can be pulled into petty battles, or you can stay focused on your purpose, your mission, your calling. Understand, silence is not weakness. Forgiveness is not foolishness. Restraint is not defeat. These are the tools of the strong. These are the strategies of the wise. These are the marks of a person who knows that their destiny is bigger than their distraction. Never let a moment of hurt rewrite the story of your life. Never let a temporary feeling cost you a permanent blessing. Never let small-minded people pull you off the path to your greatness. Stand tall, stay calm, protect your peace, move with wisdom, grow with grace. Because real power isn't in how loudly you react. It's in how deeply you rise, and trust me, when you master yourself, no hurt, no insult, no attack can ever master you.